thank Joe Molyneux and the great work he's doing at the Cape May County Economic Development Program. Joe, thanks for sponsoring today and all that you're doing for the chamber here and the county at large. We have a great topic today, Safely Together. I think it's very timely. Obviously, we're in our summer season. We're starting to pick up, and for a while there, of course, the chamber's been focused on bringing timely information to our members. Vicki, Nina, team, John, everyone does a great job. We can't thank the chamber staff enough. But now, we're starting to know a little bit more about what this is going to look like. So with that, we have a great panel today to talk about how we're reopening, of course, safely, as we have a lot of folks coming down to the shore again. So we have Will Morey, who's our county freeholder. We also have Diane Wieland, our Cape May County tourism director. We have Vicki, our own Vicki Clark from our Cape May County Chamber, who's our president. And we have Rob Reed from the One Trick Pony Advertising. So great panel. And I'm going to start it off and turn it over to Mr. Morey to take us away. Thank you, Will.
Great, thanks very much. So first, I've noticed that you didn't get the memo about no siblings permitted to be on this webinar. I see my brother looking at me right here, so I get to do that all the time at the office. But at any rate, he has a tomato. What is that? What is that in your hand? At any rate, good morning, everyone. So we're really delighted to be introducing and launching this campaign as a part of the countywide recovery initiative. There's really three aspects to it: a focus on reopening, that focus on essentially living safely and functioning and living safely during a time of COVID throughout our season, and then focus on the recovery initiatives that will be needed, I think, postseason. This obviously has been just such a dramatic impact on the county, on the community, on the state, certainly, and the country generally. But we in tourism businesses, I think, certainly feel, nonetheless, this tremendous impact because we have such a short window of time and opportunity for our revenue season. So this initiative, after we submitted our proposal to the governor, that was complete with strategies and protocols, one of the aspects of it was public messaging. So we think to be successful in this endeavor, we've really got to get the public involved and interested in safe practices and safe conduct. I think that, I know I've observed that there are varying degrees of what I call it, sort of interest in following these practices and protocols. I think to some degree, we've seen that a lot of the public is sort of done with COVID, so to speak. The problem, I think, is that COVID is not done with us. So this initiative is all about trying to instigate, encourage in a serious but fun way, good practices by visitors, by businesses, and by residents for the safety of all. When we put our proposal together and our dialogue with the governor's chief of staff, the focus was building a ramp to the summer, right? We respected what the state was doing in terms of trying to, with the shutdown order and then trying to come out of the shutdown on a methodical basis. I think some of us think the methodology or the methods could have been moved along a little faster. We're still looking for certain openings, of course. But at the end of the day, the focus was to build a ramp essentially to the main part of summer. So we're continuing to do that. We're continuing to work on openings still because all businesses, of course, are not yet open. But we have felt that it was time to launch this campaign, which we've also shared with the state. So it's once again, I think it's an interesting term because we've been for quite a bit of time, we've not been together, right? So we've been pretty much the mantra is don't be together, to shelter in place, so to speak. But the notion really is, people want to be together. We all want to get through this together safely. So I think the creative behind this really, I think, recognize that we can accomplish and we can message this in two ways. One is we can be together safely if we, in fact, wear masks, wash hands, if we practice social distancing, all the protocols and practices that we've all heard now. If we follow them, we have, I think, a very good chance of remaining healthy and from an economic standpoint, getting through our season. So being together safely is one aspect of the meaning behind the program. And the other is we all want to move through this time. We all want to, hopefully therapeutics, vaccine, whatever it might be, we get to a point where we're on the other side of COVID. And ultimately the call to action or the sort of inspirational esprit de corps message is, let's get through this, safely together. So that was the origin of the campaign. We had a great a team in the task force and the creative folks at One Trick and the chamber and Diane with the county. You'll hear that there's a collaborative effort to take this creative now and try to put it in place in a really meaningful and impactful way throughout the community. So I'm going to let me, I think at this point, turn over to Rob, and he can walk everyone through the materials, and we'll talk about how the county intends to use it with businesses in the chamber, how we intend to roll it out, how we intend to work together to really emphasize and magnify this message throughout the season and beyond. So thank you, Rob.
Thanks, Will. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys. And
Hey, Rob, while you're pulling your screen up, let me just mention too that this initiative has been really looking to hold hands, I should say, with the health sector, and my colleague Jeff Pearson and Kevin Thomas with the County Health Department. We've been sort of walking this walk together, along with Cape Regional and the professionals there. So very much a part of this program has been to make certain that we were as informed as possible from a county health perspective as well. And I think this well accomplishes that mission as well.
Great. So we're going to share with you guys today the campaign that we've been working on with Will and his team for the past maybe 2 weeks. We tried to move quickly, knowing that the summer was coming pretty fast, and we kind of wanted to arm people with this as soon as we could. So as Will said, his team approached us, and I'd like to take credit for coining the term safely together, but they already had that, and they asked us what we thought of it and how we could bring it to life. And I think for me and the team that we had working on this, we all spend the summer at the Jersey Shore. I grew up in Absecon and spend a lot of time on the beach and the boardwalk. And as I've seen it become more crowded and more populated, and still, nothing has changed with COVID. There's this desire to get out there, but concern as to, what that might mean. So what we wanted to do was bring a little heart to this, to rally everyone together, hopefully calm some nerves, get people to realize what getting together safely means, and also just as a way to bring everybody together, make everybody smile a little bit and realize as long as we're smart and we do this together, that's we can still enjoy the things that we love about the summer and about Cape May County. So we started off with this idea of feeling somewhat trapped by our homes. We've all been inside for the last 8-9 weeks, and we're starting to get impatient. We want to get together, but for the last 2 months we've been told we shouldn't be getting together. So we need to talk about how we can come together safely. And like with anything, people don't like being told what to do, but I think we need to confidently inform people what safely together means. So the approach that we took from a creative perspective is to be really clear with the information that we want to put out there, but also kind of do it in as fun as we can responsibly do, just to one, get people's attention, to have them listen to us and not automatically turn us off because they feel like they're being told what to do, but also just to be, informative and really remind people that, we can do this with some simple changes in the way that we do get together. So as we launch this, it's called Reopening Safely Together as this first phase, but we've looked at this campaign in a way that it can grow throughout the summer, throughout the fall, and whatever the next steps of COVID-19 might bring for us. So as we mentioned, we want to be really clear with the messaging. Masks and social distancing is kind of first and foremost, especially for all of your businesses as you start to reopen or look at clearer ways to message as you've been reopened. So one of the things that we added to this was kind of a nice discovery along the way. It was the idea of the Cape Minions, little tweak on the minions. And, we wanted this kind of like a mascot or group of mascots to sort of guide us through the summer, through our messaging, and also really look at this campaign in a way that can work from a print perspective if you're putting posters, information around your businesses, or if you want to share things on social, which everyone's getting most of their information on their phones through social media, digital, on the web. So being able to animate some of this, while it just kind of seems fun, can also be very informative. So we have our Cape Minions, and the additional piece that I think this gives us is it allows us to kind of message all the things that we can still do, but that there's this gentle reminder that we all need to do it safely together. So with the simple idea of just wearing a mask and being aware of social distancing, we can have this bright idea of being safely together. So within the toolkit that we've put together, that I'll go through in a second, you can start to see how reopening can also lead to all these very specific things that are all about the culture and business activity within Cape May County, whether it be social things like going to the beach, starting to go back out to dinner and outdoor dining, or as you start to come back together to your place of work. It really gives us a flexible platform that allows us to expand it, and for each of your businesses to adopt it and use it on their messaging. Within the reopening campaign, as we lead into the summer, we've put together a variety of different pieces that you can download from the website and print out from PDFs that we've supplied. There's a variety of different messages and visuals that we've given. This main poster, "Spread Your Wings, Not the Virus," again, is just kind of a friendly, kind of fun way to remind people, it's time to spread our wings and fly the coop and get outside, but let's do it safely together. We have additional pieces that are also available if we want to speak more specifically to standing 6 feet apart, like the one I'm showing on the left here. Or, I've seen a lot of businesses throughout the area that are doing makeshift signs of one sort or another that you have to wear a mask when you come inside. Sometimes it's hard to find, sometimes it's hard to understand what they're saying, sometimes you don't see any of these. And I think, if we can start to post consistent messages like this that people see from outside, they'll know right away, what's required and what you're doing from the standpoint of social distancing. And then we have these other pieces, again, just to kind of give a little bit of a flexibility of visuals, just to encourage as many people as possible to use this stuff. Another stand 6 feet apart message with flip-flops, or our great invention of the summer, the trikini, the 3-piece bathing suit with the mask. Again, just I think one underlying factor that I've been trying to be super aware of is just the odd sort of sides that people are taking on masks, of, you know, people who are either you know, really passionate about wearing it and telling other people to wear it, and then other people who, as Will said, you know, think it's sunny out, it's nice out, the virus is not going to affect me. I think in doing stuff like this, we can do these kind of fun general reminders that just kind of make that tension and that conversation a little bit easier, and a little bit lighter. So as you start to look at some of these materials, they're very flexible. You can print them yourselves. The county will be printing some of these. Whether you put them outside your store as you come into the entryway, or utilize them for posters inside, or you know, print them on 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper on your own printer. It's meant to be very flexible and very usable for you know, these main pieces of messaging that we need to put out there. We also, you know, as picking up on part of shore culture, and you know, as part of this idea of getting everybody to be safely together, you know, we talked about different ways of kind of sharing this badge to show that we're all kind of in this together. The Shore Town stickers, great way to do that. We've printed up, I think, 4,000 or 5,000 of these. They're also available on the website for you to download. Again, whether you want to put that on your car to show you're in support of this, or if you want a slightly more you know, played down version of marking your business with these stickers. You know, it's just a nice, simple way to show that we're all kind of in this together. We have put together a website, safelytogethercmc.com, where all of these assets live. We're also harnessing the hashtag #SafelyTogetherCMC, or just Safely Together. Again, digital and social has become such an important way for people to get information right now. So I encourage you, if you are sharing things on social, to leverage that hashtag. I'll pop out to the site really quickly just to walk you guys through this. Again, it's safelytogethercmc.com. And, you know, we've really tried to make it as easy as possible to put this toolkit out there for you to utilize it, or for you to share it with other people. We kind of introduce what we're trying to do with these materials and how you can use them. And then we've got really simple downloads within each of the posters. You can download a letter size or a tabloid size document that you can print on your own. And we've got all the designs that I just kind of walked you through that are available at both sizes. And then just kind of introducing the Cape Manians. And I'll go into this page. You know, I think we've established about 20 of these, and we're working on doing even more. We just put together a animated digital version for the zoo who's going to be using it. Everything from breweries to camping to ice cream, fishing, yoga, working out, the library, everything and then some of the things that people love to do in the summer and come to Cape May County for. So I encourage you guys to go and check this out. And you can pull the vector version, which can be utilized in any way, high res, that you need to use for printing or any of your needs. Or there's also socially formatted ones if you don't have the the capabilities of creating artwork on your end, those can be posted to Instagram or Facebook right off the bat. We also have this video animation that we put together, which I'd also encourage you guys to download and share on your social media platforms. Basically just kind of walking through the idea of wearing a mask and staying 6 feet from one another. So you can share that on social. And we've also put together an animated signature that you can use on your email. You can pull the sticker off of the website as well, and I think that'll be available throughout Cape May County in the printed fashion. So that's the website. Again, encourage you guys to download that. There's some post copy that we've put together if you need help with that stuff. And yeah, to wrap this up, you know, from One Trick Pony side, as a member of the shore community, we've been excited to get involved with this, to do it in a creative and responsibly fun way as possible. And, you know, in addition to reaching out to the county with anything that you need in terms of these assets, you know, we're also available to help with specific needs if you have them, to help us all go safely together into the summer. So thank you guys.
Thanks, Rob. I think we're going to take questions at the end. So next on our agenda, we have Diane Wieland, who's going to tell us about how we're going to market this program. Diane?
Welcome, everybody. I have been working and had the pleasure to work with Steve and Rob to get this message out. One of the important things about Safely Together is to make sure that our visitors and residents know that, you know, this is very important to us. It's important for the safety of our visitors and residents, but also to keep our businesses open. We don't want to have any issues or complaints that people are not following the guidelines that are set forth by the CDC and the governor's recommendation. So we started out with getting the message out, and right now it's already running is the video of the little 30-second spot that was put together by One Trick Pony, and I've already heard this morning that people are seeing it, so we're happy that that's happening. On the next slide, you can see what we're doing with that. So if we can move to the next slide, we can, okay. The Safety Together campaign is going to target the local audience. We feel that, you know, that it's important that our very targeted message goes to those people who are already in Cape May County. We hope that they are watching, you know, there are 16 stations right now that it's running on. We try to look at, you know, what are people going to watch when they get here. The Weather Channel was a key channel for me because, you know, while you're on vacation, weather is important, but there's a lot of the other stations that came with this package that I feel will allow us to spread the message out to people who are watching. We're aiming this message towards children as well as adults, and, you know, and all of the age levels that are concentrated on our visitor base. There will, these commercials are going to run through Labor Day. There'll be over 770,000 impressions, 100,000 digital video commercials, and 2,750 television commercials. When we look down at the cost, it's like 1.5 cents per impression. So, you know, we are working hard to get that message out there. And as Rob said, to gently remind our visitors how important it is to practice social distancing, wear the mask, wash their hands, and keep that front of mind while they're on vacation. The next buy that I thought was an important one on the next slide is the tram cars. And no, actually I have the billboards. The billboards were a great option for us to keep that frequency going and to keep the message out there. There are 2 different versions of the billboards. We contracted for 6 billboards, and while, you know, we were a little late in the game and in ordering them, I think I was able to spread the message throughout Cape May County. And I had an email this morning that they gave us a bonus 7th billboard that will go up as well. These will go up June 29th. The Roosevelt Boulevard one is going to be a little later, June 9th, because it's already in use. But I was, you know, I wanted to make sure that we targeted those visitors who are going into Ocean City. So if you look, you can see most of the beach communities are being targeted. Again, the frequency is so important when you have our visitors driving around, our campers coming from the mainland onto the beach communities. We wanted to make sure that they saw the message, and certainly it's attractive and eye-catching and very simple message. So we're hoping that, you know, as we move on through these billboards, which will run through again till Labor Day, you know, there'll be that general reminder to our visitors and residents alike that we're here to make sure that we're all vacationing safely together. The next ad buy is the tram car package. And this was something, you know, anyone who doesn't know, watch the tram car, please. They haven't been to Cape May County. So this allows us to really target, you know, the 9 million people who come to Wildwood. You know, mostly all of them are going to the boardwalk, and the tram car is certainly not something they'll miss. So we have had that opportunity that'll start on June 29th, run through September 6th. They have 4 tram cars available. Coca-Cola has the other 4. So we will join. If you'll see along the side of the tram car, you'll see the signage, and we will have a sign there. I'll be rotating 4 of the posters on a different one on each of the tram cars as they traverse. People will see it as they traverse the Wildwood Boardwalk. This was a great opportunity for us. We were able to tie it in with the radio campaign. Our other radio marketing efforts are, well, you can see it. That's okay, thanks, Nina. Town Square is another Cat Country. Sojo and ESPN will be running ads for 9 weeks. There'll be 30-second ads. They're gonna start probably at the end of this week. We're getting the availability and getting that tied into their rotation. WIBG is another local station that does target the Cape May County area. That's a 3-week, 13-week daily weather tag we'll have. Well, it'll be 91 commercials and sponsorships that are going to be part of their website and also their digital ads. So they're going to have you know, a good coverage there for people who are, you know, listening on the radio. And we do find that that's very effective for our summer visitors to get information. We're also adding the logo and the message, you know, to our website and other print and digital ads. And we encourage all the businesses to join and do that as well. It doesn't take, you know, much time to post it on your website. And it is all downloadable, as Rob explained. You will find the download also available on the County Chamber website. Right now, yesterday, I was working to add the message, also the posters to the local restaurant placemats, which, you know, while people are eating, they'll get to see that message in the various local restaurants. So that's to come as more opportunities arise. I will be adding more of the marketing efforts, you know, to make sure that message goes out to as many places of people that we can possibly reach during the summer months. Okay, the next slide. Here's the posters and decals. These will be available for anyone and everyone who wants them. The decals are available now. I know the Chamber of Commerce has some. We have some that we're going to mail out. I just proved yesterday for the posters. They're going to come in this time at 8.5 by 11. I have 5,000 of each of these coming in, hopefully by the end of the week, early next week, and they will be available. Just let me know. We'll mail them or deliver them to you as contact free as we can possibly do it. But you know, if you want one or all, or you want more than one, just let us know. We'd be happy to get them to you. Let people know that they are available. It's important that, you know, this be a recognizable message, and that, you know, we are all in this together. So we really depend on our businesses to post these as well and help get that message out. But any one of these will be, any one or all will be available probably early next week. We're doing Facebook and social media. We ask you, if you see our Facebook ads, to share them. Also, if you want to download any of the images for your own Facebook, you know, that's important to us. Right now, the Tourism Department, the Southern Shore DMO, and Cape May County government will be posting these throughout the summer months to make sure that, you know, we're getting that message out, and that, once again, that general reminder of how important it is to follow the protocols. Digital ads, we're doing a lot of the digital ads, and part of it's through the Comcast and Town Square Buy. We also have print and local. The Herald does not only weekly, but they also do the digital component, which we will take full advantage of. So, you know, you're going to see the ads. You know, hopefully our visitors who pick up these newspapers and other publications will see them as well. Next slide. Okay. You know, just encouraging you, join the flock, put on a mask, spread your wings, you know, help us get the word out. The toolbox is available on that website. Also, if you go onto the County Chamber of Commerce, we just like, you know, just use this. It's easy to use. It doesn't take any extra time. You know, if you're putting it on any of your printing brochures, or if you're doing any adds to anything to your Facebook, your website, you know, put the logo. If nothing else, add the logo and the URL so people know that this information is available, and how we feel it's important to make sure that we're reopening and stay opening safely together. Thank you.
Thanks, Diane. And so that's a lot of information packed into a short period of time. And so we're going to start taking your questions now. But I just want to add a few closing comments to the presentation. You know, the Chamber was really thrilled to be part of the task force to submit our proposal about reopening. And you know, having this kind of marketing campaign was always part of the plan. And we're really thrilled to have such a impactful and dynamite program to present to you here today. So just as a reminder, all the materials that were presented to you today are downloadable from the Safely Together CMC website. It's also linked on the Chamber website. And the Chamber will be helping with distribution, both from the Chamber Information Center, and then also as our Chamber team is out and about delivering vacation guides and calendars and everything, we'll have posters and stickers with us that we can help distribute as well. So let us know if you'd like to have those, and we're able to get them to you. We're happy to supply those as well. And we encourage everybody to download the Cape Manians or the emojis and add them to your email signatures. Put put them on your social media marketing and promotions, your Facebook cover. Help spread the word, reinforce the message. Use it in any advertising that you're doing. And let's reinforce the reopening and the recovery of Cape May County together. Hashtag it, and let's get the message out there. Use the JPEG images, just every way that we can get this message out there, that Cape May County is responsible and safely reopening, and we welcome everyone back to Cape May County this summer and into the fall. And we look forward to having them come and visit here and enjoy all the wonderful things that we have here in Cape May County. And we're especially looking forward to having all of our businesses reopen. We have a lot of work to do, and we are continuing to advocate to get all of our businesses reopened so that we can enjoy everything that Cape May County has to offer. So I know that we have some questions in the chat. Don't forget that you can also raise your hand. And we're going to go right to the chat first. And let's see. Pat Raspa has asked about a museum, Cape Manian. So Rob, do we have a museum?
We don't, but we have been talking with Will and Nina about doing another set, and we would love to do a museum one.
Okay. Okay, I guess that's first on your list, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Gina. Okay, Gina's asking, is the chamber building open to tourists? We are in the process of reopening. It will be reopened by the end of the month. We have had to make sure that it was meeting all the CDC guidelines to reopen, safely. So we'll be open by the end of the month for visitors again. Let's see. Nina, you put this question in here from a participant. I'd like to know if we can get the native files and potentially make adjustments to the colors for print and digital. This would allow businesses to complement their brand colors for broader use. Rob, I think that's best for you.
Yeah, I mean, whatever way encourages people to use this as much as possible. We're all for sharing that, and can be a point of contact for specific requests, just to make sure we give people what they need. The PDFs that are on the website are all vector. So if you download those and you want to change the colors, that's fine. If you feel like that is a better way to represent your company. The only thing that I would just suggest on like the color front is, I think, to the point that we were trying to make about this being recognizable and kind of a badge that's kind of seen throughout the county, is just that color plays a really great, very quick to notice part of branding. So absolutely, if you feel like bright yellow is offensive within the creative that you do for your business, have at tweaking the color if you like. But if it's possible to use it in key spaces where consumers will be looking at it at your business, at your place of business, I would try to encourage you to keep the color palette as is. But if that's a deal breaker and you need to change the colors to use it, change the colors.
Okay, thank you. We have another suggestion for a Poolit Cape Manian.
Yeah, absolutely. We do have a beach one, and we have been having a lot of fun drawing these things. So Poolit will go on number 2 below museum.
Okay, that's great.
Do we have a swim it?
I don't think we do.
All right.
Okay. Nina, do we have any raised hands?
No, Vicki, no raised hands as of now.
Okay. Oh, Gretchen from the Nature Center of Cape May. She is suggesting bird it, explore it, and nature it.
Yeah, those are good ones. We do have a sightsee it that has like a reflection of a whale tail in the binoculars, but yeah, birding would be a good one too.
Okay. And Lillian Armstrong is echoing the bird it from the Bird Observatory, Audubon, New Jersey Audubon. Okay. Well, I'm not seeing any other conversation going on in the chat.
I think Jack
Morey is waving. Jack, did you want to say something?
Well, he's really technology impaired.
Unmute yourself.
He's actually using his hand.
Yes, he's raising his hand. Go ahead, Jack.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I couldn't find the wave button, so I waved. I was just being obedient and waving. So I like the campaign a lot. I think the graphics are really sharp. One of the issues as we bring more and more of our staff back that I'm finding it challenging is, I mean, number one, we need to lead by examples as as executives in the company, and we'll be hiring, we have 125 year-rounders, and we'll be hiring hopefully up to 1,000 this year of seasonals. And to me, the best way to sort of get the message across is if we have all of our employees do it. And I'm searching for a way for us to better integrate all of our hundreds of touch points with guests, with our employees. And I'm just not sure. I'm not sure how to do that. I feel like we can be most effective by using our staff to get the message across. Because if we just use posters, we've got, I don't know, we've got 10 things to promote. We don't really need another thing to promote, but the underbelly of all this needs to be, let's do all this stuff, safely together. I'm just not sure how to do that with an employee perspective.
Yeah, I do think, Jack, I think that's a good point. We have been talking with Will and the team about doing t-shirts, which felt like more of like a from specific promotion of it. I wonder for an employee side of things, like for you guys at the peers, if it's something that is easily like applied to something like a button or something that just causes like an opportunity for them to have a conversation with whoever they're serving or waiting on. But we could give some thought to that too. A button would probably be the quickest thing to come to my mind, but yeah, some way other than the sticker for people who are kind of out and about and serving people. I think that would be a good format for us to look into too.
Yeah, and we're really focused on, as Jack had mentioned, on really trying. I mean, so much attention has been on trying to get open, prepare to be open, and now as we start to onboard staff, I mean, from a responsibility standpoint, we want to make certain that our staff is, that we do our part to keep them healthy. And then if you look at just the business aspects of if one does get ill, so number one, do the right thing and make sure we focus on the health and safety of the staff. If we fall down on that, we could lose, for 10 days, for some number of days, many staff members essential to the operation. So there's an economic aspect of it that is in the number 2 position where it rightfully belongs, that suggests that we really need to do this, safely together. So we're hoping, as Jack had mentioned, to really develop sort of an esprit de corps and a real sort of seriousness, but it can be a call to action that has that's more inspiring than sort of tramp down, so to speak, and God, you must do this and these are the rules and that type of stuff. If we can sort of lift it a bit, we think it will stick better, we hope.
And certainly something that all businesses are going to face. And Allegra Marketing is always good at networking and suggesting some ideas that they have, and so we'll connect, share their information. Perhaps there could be some putting some ideas together there.
Okay.
They put their information here in the chat for you. So if no one else has any other questions or ideas, I don't know if Rob or Will or Diane, you had any other closing comments you wanted to make about the campaign, but we can wrap it up.
The only thing I realized when Diane went into hers, I didn't share the TV commercial with everybody. I'll just show that real quick, so you guys can get a.
And then maybe Vicki, after the commercial, we can just I just appreciate maybe a couple of points of input from folks that are in the group today.
Oh yeah.
All right, here we go.
Tired of being cooped up, Cape May County? Ready to spread your wings and fly the coop? Cape May County is open and ready. So let's go safely together. Introducing the Itsy Bitsy, Teeny Weeny, Yellow Polka Dot, Trekini. Cape May County is open and ready. So let's go safely together.
There you have it.
Great. So, and I know, Rob, we've talked about within a week or so, when Cape May County is fully open or near fully open, it's likely that we'll change the top header from reopening to moving forward, or some message that is sort of current, so to speak, because we've been through an opening process and now we need to sort of move through the season. And I think we'll make a change to that.
Yep.
I just wanted to jump in quickly, Vicki, because I saw there's one comment in the chat and then somebody also asking on Facebook about an icon for breweries. And so we do have a brewery icon already. And for wineries, I believe there is one of the emojis is holding a wine glass. So maybe that one would work for you. And so if folks are still finding that there's not anything there that's working for their business, after looking through them, please just let us know.
Yep.
Any other comments or questions or suggestions?
Yeah, I think we'd like to get feedback from what people think about the program, right?
It'd be great. Yeah, and the program has evolved, and we plan to have it continue to evolve. So, and ultimately, we really obviously appreciate the chamber and the county's work and the associations all working together to try to move this message out and get it in use. But yeah, if there's a few moments of feedback, that'd be great.
A couple of folks have made comments in the chat. This is great, Will. Great work. Awesome. So thanks for the chat comments, but people feel free to unmute yourselves and speak up verbally. We'd love to hear it.
Hi, you guys, thank you so much for doing these programs. They are really helpful. I wanted to ask Will what he has heard exactly about our industry, like the amusement industry, the protocols, the guidelines that we might be having to open up.
Sure.
Like
so
what we're going to need to do.
So we took what was the industry safe play guideline after getting input from the state. We've been engaged in this process, as you can imagine, not daily, but close to it. We broke that into 3 different segments, which are rides, water parks, and arcades. And we prepared documents that are more in a format that is more along the lines of what the state's been using. So it'd be easy for them to modify. I think that we're expecting the governor to make an announcement on this later this week. If I had a sort of call a trend line, I would say it's, I think we're looking at July 1st, but until the governor, makes that announcement, I think that, we certainly can't be certain of that. I think the guidelines are going to be robust. There'll be capacity management in place. So, it's not, we all have challenges ahead of us, I think, in the amusement industry as we open up and start to move forward. But it's a far cry better than being closed. So that's the latest that, that we have at this point in time.
Okay. So I have an arcade. So where can I find, you said you broke it up into 3 segments. Where can I find that?
So if you send me a note, the actual arcade piece is probably going out the door to the state tonight.
Okay.
And I'd be happy to share that with you. We expect that the state will take that and will mark it up to some degree, but we're trying to make it really straightforward for them at this point. So while the industry, I think, did a really outstanding job with the safe play document, we found that constructing it in their format, or our advice would be more helpful. So shoot me a note and I'll see that you get a copy of what was sent to or what will be sent to the state.
Okay. And then the other issue with safe opening is lack of employees. So I know that, you know, I was waiting on my J1 students, and they haven't technically been canceled, although I know that, you know, all of them are going to be. The students have been contacting me from their end, but I haven't heard. So I can't do all these practices right now. It's just me. I've had even American employees that I had hired, and the last one left me on Monday. They waited. I tried to give them things to do, but their families are, without having a date to open, you know, there were other jobs available, and so they ended up taking them. So I can't put these things into practice if I don't have minions of my own to help me.
You know, it's a real challenge at Morey Spears. We're about to pull out the stops on an all-out recruiting effort. You're right about the J1s. I think the best we do in the county, and I think there's about 2,500, Vicki, is that about right? J1 workers that come into the county. I think 5,000 for the state.
Right.
I think the best we do is 10%, and that's looking kind of optimistic right now. So, you know, if I'm able to shoot me a note, if I'm able to get any more, you know, certainty about that date, I'll certainly share it with you. But my sense is that you should be starting to hire up in every way you can at this point in time.
Yeah. Well, I was hoping for, you know, a county to do some kind of job fair, or, you know, help us along with that. I've been talking with Vicki since the end of March, because I deal with a few agencies as you do, and the writing was on the wall with the State Department, you know, at the end. And so I was hoping that you guys would have some influence over the State Department from our end, you know, and with these agencies, to try to have them bear with us that it would be all right by July. But
yeah, no, listen, we're still in the game in a really significant way on this. Congressman Van Drew is very active on this topic. But even if the administration does not put a hold on employment, it's going to be only those with visas are going to come in. So it's going to be a greatly reduced number. But
right.
we can speak at a county level in terms of the job fairs. I mean, there are fewer summer sports. There are less intern programs. There are some opportunity for folks. I think it's pretty clear that we're going to have to be raising wages in order to attract folks as well as a community. So, you know, as I said during the recovery program that we did, I think for a lot of shore businesses, this is about surviving until 2021, to May of 2021. So, you know, Morey Spears will look different than it has any other year before in terms of how we'll need to, you know, get through this year. And I think arcades will be similar.
Yeah, I think I almost feel like when the states were competing for PPE and they were driving the price up, I almost feel like, yeah, that we're going to have to, you know, somehow offer $16 an hour to the youth to try to get to work for us. It's going to be, you know, crazy. And so if, you know, one thing doesn't get us, then that's going to get us. So I'm trying to make it to 2021.
A lot of challenges.
Yeah, I'll hop in here and just say that Nina and I were discussing this morning the possibility of doing another unemployment or labor webinar. So maybe we'll get together and talk about a lot of these other issues. And as you say, Will, maybe a job fair of some sort, because a lot of businesses are really hurting for employees. So we are coming up on an hour. Just wanted to give anyone else a chance to comment on the Safely Together program, if they had any comments at all that they wanted to share. We'd love to hear from you. If not, I'll take the opportunity to say that we appreciate Rob and Will and Diane for your time today to present the program and everything that's gone into it, in the Cape May County Economic Development Program for their sponsorship today. You'll see on the screen here, we do have opportunities for sponsorship of upcoming programs. And excuse me, tomorrow we do have the Chamber membership lunch for June. And we'll have from the New Jersey State Chamber, Tom Bracken, President and CEO, and Michael Egginton, the Executive Vice President of Government Affairs, who will be talking about some legislation and the new budget that's being presented for the State Chamber and how that's going to affect the business community. So thank you all for joining us here today. Please download those images share them, use them, and let's all promote safely together in Cape May County. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you all.
Bye.